Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, I heard most of you. Let's try that again. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, so beautiful. It is so amazing to see our sanctuary filled with such wonderful, beautiful spirits and voices. So we're going to sing a different Shabbat Shalom together. These words are Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. May we be blessed with Shabbat peace. So as you settle in, take a listen, and we'll learn it together. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, u'mevorach. 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 Shabbat Shalom, 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 u'mevorach.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is so good to see you. So good to have this sanctuary so full. Friends, I want to get a few of the little logistical things out of the way. We do have a section over here that is mask only. It's the first time Temple Emanu-El will have and ever has had a mechitza. So that is our mask mechitza, if you will. So if you would feel more comfortable over there, please head on over. Friends, if you have little ones or anybody with sensory issues and would like to take a break from the main sanctuary, you can head over to our Shalom sanctuary. It's a quiet space for anyone who just needs that little bit of a break. And welcome, guys. Welcome to those who are in town for the bar mitzvah and the bar mitzvah, and welcome to our members. You guys are amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you for being here. To any of our guests, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. I am Rabbi Rachel Miller here with Cantor Lauren Adesnik. Tonight we'll be using Mishkan Tefillah. You can find it underneath your chair. Because we're a creative bunch, both books are blue. There's two under there. If you pull the one that says Torah, yep, see, wrong one. Swap them out. So you want the one that says Mishkan Tefillah. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Friends, if for some reason we need to head out of the sanctuary, come on in, guys. Come on in. All good. We have lots of seats over here. We have our mask-only section over here. And there's a door for which you can go out of if you need to at the back. We have another door over here, another door over here, and we really needed to. There are two exits right behind us as well. Take a second, turn off that smartphone. Turn off that Apple Watch if it beeps. Put everything on do not disturb. I'm praying. Okay? And I mentioned the bar mitzvah, so a big mazel tov to Sam Hurd and family. Hi, guys, as well as Ben and your family. Ben's getting his stuff all set. He's turned, I know. Oh, I know. He follows directions. He follows directions. So, friends, take a second. Turn to somebody that you did not come here with and wish them a Shabbat Shalom.
We could always open a wall. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach. Let's try it together. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach. Let's try that again. I'm getting more and more of your attention. Each repetition, this is amazing. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach. One last time. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach. Beautiful.
Friends, let us take a second to really enter this space. So if you can, put your feet on the floor or back against the chair. I invite you to flutter your eyes closed, because I want us to separate from this week that was. There were so many moving parts for so many different people, a lot going on in the world. And right now, though, we are preparing to just check in to this moment, to be present for this service. So we'll do 3 breaths to get there. Deep breath in, let it out. Another deep breath, let it out. This final breath, we get ready for Shabbat. Deep breath in and let it out. Flutter your eyes open. Friends at home, if you haven't had a chance to light candles and would like to do so with us, now is the time to get your matches. It's my pleasure to invite forward, there and there, perfect, Carolina Hurd, Tanya Meltzner, Maggie Meltzner, Andrea Sanchez, Jordan Hurd, and for the Rosenblum family, Rachel Rosenblum, Lois Baum, and Marcy Rosenblum. So come on up to our candles. You'll find a blessing sheet. You don't need a book. We have a sheet right there for you, as well as 2 microphones.
Yeah, turn the other one. Yeah.
And I'll ask the congregation to please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. And so, friends, if you would like to light your own Shabbat candles, not all of you will be able to. We're a pretty full house here tonight. We'll continue with Shalom Aleichem on page 142. If you would like to light, come on forward. If you'd like to remain at your seat, please be seated.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
On page 138, we have our prayer Lachadodi, and there's a little midrash that goes with it, that Lachadodi is sort of an answer to Shabbat being personified. That it says that Shabbat could talk, if you will, and was upset that Sunday and Monday could be together, Tuesday and Wednesday could be together, Thursday and Friday they had a match, but Shabbat, Saturday, had no match. And so God responded to the Sabbath and said, I'll give you a match, it'll be the people. And so it is our job to be, if we're going to be heteronormative, that groom to the Sabbath, who is our bride. The Chadodi 138.
Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. 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 Shamor zachor b'dibur echad, ishmi Emanu-El hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem l'tiferet v'l'tehila. Lechadodi, lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela.
We rise and face the door.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam v'simcha u'v'tzochola, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala.
We face forward.
Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lechadodi, lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela.
Page 146. We remain standing. Our call to worship, Baruch Hu.
Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, Le'olam Va'ed, Le'olam Va'ed. Yadalai, Lailai, Yadalai, Lailai, Yadalai, Lailai, Yadalai, Lailai. Yadalai, Lailai, Yadalai, Lailai, Yadalai, Lailai, Yadalai, Lailai.
As co-creators with God, we welcome in the changing of the day. As the darkness rolls in, we have our roll into dark, Ma'ariva Ravim, found on the back inside cover of your prayer book.
Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day.
fluttering, our eyes closed, declaring God's oneness, Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated, unless you are becoming bar mitzvah tomorrow, and then go ahead and close your prayer book and come on up. I have it for you. Yeah, that's you. Come on up, come on up. And so guys, this prayer, Ve'ahavta, in it, it talks about how we are supposed to think about what God asks of us evening and in morning. That we are supposed to think about it not just in the evening, but the morning. That we're also supposed to teach it to our children. And for you guys, this is your last night praying this prayer as children of the congregation. That after this, you are a part of the teach our children. That you become the teachers in this congregation the next time that you will chant for us, Ve'ahavta. So I'll invite you to do so now. The words can be found on page 154. Whenever you're ready, Ben.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu advarim ha'el asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom levavecha ve'shinamtam levanecha ve'dibartam bam be'shivtecha be'leitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'shoftecha u'v'kumecha u'shartam le'ot al yedecha ve'hayu l'totatot b'neinecha u'ktatam on mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'azitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem. Amen.
Thanks, guys. I'll take your mics. And friends, as we prepare to be on a journey to freedom, Passover is just around the corner. Don't forget to go buy your matzah. And on our way there, though, we had to go out of slavery. We had to move from a place of oppression so that we could go to freedom. And before we sing this song together, sing this prayer, let's pray together the English on page 159. Together. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, in earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Mi וכעלום מי החזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. יאללה לי 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 לי, יאללה לי לי לי, יאללה לי 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 לי, יאללה לי 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 לי, יאללה לי לי לי, יאללה לי לי.
Friends, on page 160, we have our prayer, Hashkivenu, one that I'm thinking of especially this evening because it ends with, Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, guardian of Israel. We know that Israel has had a number of attacks in recent weeks, in the past week, and so in addition to praying for that shelter of peace over ourselves, over our community here, we pray for that for the whole world and for Israel. Hashkivenu, page 160.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Let's try that together. Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. To life.
We pray together, page 163 at the top. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment endearing forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Vishamru, our prayer for Shabbat 162.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot es ha-Shabbat, l'toratam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot es ha-Shabbat, l'toratam. Let's sing it one last time. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot
So I don't know everybody who traveled into Atlanta for the bar mitzvah, but I'm pretty sure that, perhaps thankfully, none of us are in a big enough spotlight that every little move that we make gets analyzed and studied before the world's eyes for the 24, 48-hour news cycle. And so in case you missed it, news stations pivoted away from the 5th week of the war in Ukraine to instead talk about the slap heard round the world. The incident at the Academy Awards, in which comedian Chris Rock used his time on national television to make actress Jada Smith the butt of a not-so-funny joke. And the incident ended, as we know, when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock across the face and returned to his seat and used choice words toward Mr. Rock. And only a short while later, Mr. Smith went on to win Best Actor, an award for which he received a standing ovation. So I'm not going to give you my hot take on the latest in Hollywood in terms of assigning things like who was more right or who was more wrong about the situation. Y'all probably heard about that all week on Facebook, the news, the radio, chatting about it with colleagues at work or out on your porch. And so the reason, though, that I'm even bringing Hollywood to the bima is because the warning against Lashon Hara, speech that speaks negatively about another person, it's one of the main lessons of our Torah portion this week, Parshat Tazria. It would take hours to dive into all of the different elements that were at play in this incident, to even begin to understand how these two men came to that very moment in time. There are so many isms and other social nuances to unpack, so much personal and global history. No single sermon could capture all that would need to be said. So, here are just a few of the isms and nuances at play when discussing the incident. Feminism. In 2022, why did the husband react in the relationship? While also holding that if Jada had reacted in that way, wouldn't she be subjected to society's stereotypes of the Black woman as angry just for being passionate in the moment? Toxic masculinity. When you hold the mic, you hold the power. Why use a moment on national television to punch down, to say something demeaning to Jada Smith? Why react with violence instead of words? What about Will Smith's history led to that moment? It was a joke-ism. If someone is punched down upon with words, how in the world are we still defending it with, it was just a joke? Racism. The Oscars have a history of racism, at times honoring white men who have shown violence and poor ethics. So how is racism being addressed by the Oscars today? What still needs to be discussed? Misogynoir, the term used when misogyny is directed towards Black women, where race and gender both play roles in the bias. We all heard the joke, but how does misogynoir affect Black women on a regular basis? Ableism. What does knowingly or unknowingly making a joke about a symptom of someone's autoimmune disorder do for society? Trauma. What past traumas became present during the incident? Wealth and idolization. Why do we try to relate to people whose wealth is more than anything we could ever imagine, and therefore provides a lifestyle that could never be ours? Anyone but an A-list celebrity would have been taken away immediately for assaulting a celebrity. So I don't like that the Lashon Hara of Hollywood was the conversation of the week, with myself included. I don't like it. But perhaps subconsciously, It was an attempt to distract or perhaps give our minds a break from a war displacing millions of civilians or the now 5 terrorist attacks in Israel. And all of this said, there was still too much of a connection to this week's Torah portion to just not mention it. That's because in Parshat Tazria, we learn about the laws surrounding Sara'at. It's some kind of unnamed skin disease. For the record, it's not leprosy. That's like a misthing that has happened. And the laws speak to how we know when Sara'at is around and the treatment for afflicted individuals. The Torah also tells us how the community responds to the infected. And that is that the community sends the afflicted individual outside the camp for a quarantine period before the priest can approve their return. Now, on paper, that doesn't really sound much like Lashon Hara, but our rabbinic sages tell us that one engaging in Lashon Hara, in that bad speech, is punishable by Sara'at. The most famous example coming from the book of Numbers is when Miriam, Moses' sister, makes comments about Zipporah, Moses' wife, a black woman from outside the Israelite community. And then Miriam was afflicted with Sara'at. It's not just a skin disease, though. The portion tells that Sara'at can also appear on house walls and people's clothes. In ancient times, these other places for Sara'at were seen as warnings. First, your house would be afflicted as a warning. Still haven't changed your ways? Okay, now your clothes are going to be afflicted. Still not really listening? That is when the skin becomes afflicted. The rabbinic sages also teach Lashon Hara slays 3 people: the one who speaks it, the one who listens to it, and the one about whom it is said. The 3 parties involved are all affected by the words before any action can be taken. Words matter. God spoke the world into being. Our tradition teaches that the world was created through words. Words are the way that we create relationships. Words can also be the way that we destroy relationships. And it's this concept of creation of speech that is the central theme of our Torah portion. So not only do the rabbinic sages teach about the 3 people afflicted by Lashon Hara, but they also teach that embarrassing someone in public is akin to murder. That's how seriously they take speech and the way that it affects others. Now, the scenario that happened at the Oscars, that exact scenario with the exact same dynamics, probably not going to happen to any of us in this room for lots of different reasons. But we might experience the following. Someone will make a joke at our expense and cause us embarrassment. Or maybe we're the one to make that joke. We may have the urge to, or we may actually respond with violence due to hurtful words sent our way. We may also be the one on the other side of the violence in reaction to something we've said. We will be bystanders in a hurtful situation, and we will also be the person who speaks up. So regardless of how things played out during the incident and the commentary throughout the week, the situation began with 2 things: the history that all parties held leading up to that moment, and words. History matters. Words are sacred. Like the story of the feather pillow, once the feathers are released, there is no way to get them all back and put them and collect them back into the pillowcase. And so it is with our words. Once they leave our mouth, we can't take them back. However, we can follow the steps of tshuva, a return to the right path. We can apologize, learn from our mistake, and when confronted with the same situation, not make the same mistake again. one final thought. This is like the collective children, you don't have to have kids to connect to this, the collective children of our world, they are watching and listening. They overhear the television when you think they're sleeping. They overhear your conversations on the matter when you think they're out of earshot. And they are trying to process what occurred, why people are talking about it, and what they should think about it. This is a delicate but teachable moment. In age-appropriate ways, we must have the tough conversations, not withholding that feminism, toxic masculinity, it was a jokeism, racism, misogynoir, ableism, trauma, wealth, and idolization were all at play in an incident that occurred in less than 60 seconds. Most importantly, let us remember to be present and to find healthy role models for children. And I'm not talking about the athletes who have foundations and don't get in trouble for drugs or alcohol or abuse. I'm saying if these are our models that you talk about in your home, then we should also, and more importantly, be talking about the people in our life who emulate the values that we hope our children will uphold. People who aren't A-list or B-list, but instead spend more time telling stories of kindness that you watched your parents show you and others growing up, or perhaps the caring nature of a beloved classroom teacher. I'll end with a story. So when Rabbi Max and I were in rabbinical school, we were the interns for the dean of the rabbinical school, dean of the rabbinic program, and his name's Rabbi Ken Cantor. Yes, his name is Rabbi Cantor. Who actually many of you may have met. He's come here on a number of visits. He's a dear friend and mentor. And Rabbi Cantor would host students. He would host prospective students and other groups of people at his condo. And Max and I, we would help out with these dinners. We were there to answer questions. We were there to just make sure that things ran the way they were supposed to go. All different kinds of tasks. And after each dinner, we would put together a plate of food, wrap it up, and on our way out, we would drop it off with the doorman while exchanging some pleasantries and smiles. Fast forward 4 years, and Max and I are again interns in Jerusalem, on the Jerusalem campus of the school, saying hello to the newest cohort of students. And one of the students, he comes up to us and he says, "Hey, you probably don't remember me, but we met at Rabbi Cantor's condo when I was applying, et cetera, but I just have to tell you, I haven't stopped thinking about the thoughtfulness you showed when you brought down and dropped off that plate of food for the doorman." I thought to myself, he says, wow, these are the kinds of things I need to do more of. So thank you for that. And our response, however, was first, of course, we remember you, et cetera. And while that's so kind, but we have to tell you, it was never our idea. It was Rabbi Cantor who asked us to make sure we made the plate for the doorman after dinner. Hadn't crossed our minds. He's the one who reminded us to always look for moments to be kind. So find those Rabbi Cantors of the world, true role models. Raise up these kinds of people as shining examples of what it truly means to live a life worthy of emulation and praise. May the words of our mouth and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable to you, Adonai, our God. May we use our mouths and our words to bring more goodness into this world. Shabbat Shalom. Friends, I'm going to ask that we rise for our Amidah on page 164. We'll do just the opening together of Adonai Sifatai, and I'll invite us to enter into some silent prayer and meditation. And when you've completed those prayers, you may be seated.
Adonai Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Agid Tehillah. Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
If you're still praying, you're welcome to stand. You're welcome to stand. Words of our next prayer, page 180. My pleasure to invite forward our co-president of our Board of Trustees, Robert Wittenstein, to share a few announcements.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
2 weeks from tonight is April 15th, and that is tax day.
No, I think it's like the 18th this year.
Or maybe the 18th. But because it's April 15th, we're not going to have services in the sanctuary that night. It also happens to be the first night of Passover. So we invite you not to come to services on Friday, April 15th, but instead to have your Seders at home and to come on Saturday, the 16th, for second night Seder, which will be lovely and will be led by the Millers, right?
In Rebbe Spike.
And Rabbi Spike. So please put that on your calendar. We did not do that last year or the year before for obvious reasons. This is an opportunity for you to get together in community and have a wonderful Seder experience. Before that, next Thursday night, the 7th of April, is the end of Ramadan. We don't normally point that out to this crowd, but we have established a relationship with the Istanbul Cultural Center in Alpharetta, and they have invited us to share their end of Ramadan feast with us. I did this either 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whichever was the last time that we actually were able to do it. It was a fabulous evening. We got to learn about Ramadan. They got to learn a little about Judaism. All of the women cooked, and they are incredible chefs. The food was fabulous. So I would invite you, if you are inclined, you can go on the website, you can sign up, it's free, to join us for the feast that ends Ramadan on April 7th. And with that, I wish you all Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, thank you. Although don't put it down because now you got to work.
Yeah.
No, really. For Shechianu. So, friends, we love to take a minute to share the good things going on in our life. We'll do the speed round tonight. And so, for example, you'll stand up, you'll say, I'm Rachel, and something really nice going on in my life is that my parents are in town. Yeah, and then everybody goes, oh. Yeah. Okay. Anybody want to share something great going on
Who's got something to share?
Yes. Hi, I'm Brent Hurd. This is my son Sammy. It is his bar mitzvah weekend, and my entire family from all over the United States and even England are in town to celebrate my son's bar mitzvah. So,
Shabbat Shalom.
thank you.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Amazing. Mazel tov, mazel tov.
This is Ellen Gilmer. I'm sorry I can't stand.
Oh, yeah.
But close. But I just want to say this is the weekend that my alma mater is playing in the NCAA Final Four basketball, UNC. So go Heels!
That's a lot of prayer to reach God tonight. Okay, okay.
Hi, my name is Bree. I just wanted to say congratulations to Ben.
My name is Binny Edel. Oh.
Oh.
Hold it a little closer, it's quiet.
I wanted to say congratulations to Ben, my cousin, for his bar mitzvah, and I just wanted to say that I'm graduating this semester
Mazel
from
tov.
master's or undergrad.
Undergrad, nice.
My name is Binny Edelson, and I'm proud to say my children are all leaving for Israel on the 15th to celebrate my granddaughter's bat mitzvah.
Mazel tov, mazel tov. Safe travels, Nesiat Tova.
Hi, I'm David, my wife Eva, who reminded me tonight that 38 years ago this weekend, she gave the Devar Torah on our wedding. So it's our 38-year wedding anniversary.
Mazel tov, mazel tov, mazel tov.
Hi, my name is Sherry, and I am here in honor of Ben Rosenblum's bar mitzvah, and we are Norm Rosenblum's sister Susan, and my brother Fred, my sister-in-law Joanne, and we came here from California. And my great niece Erica, we have a little jet lag. We had quite a trip here. But we're here to honor Ben and to honor Norman and Marcy and Rachel and Brandon, and God bless you.
Amen, amen, amen. Mazel tov, mazel tov. So for all of these things, is it a really big one? Oh, it's a really big one. I'll get my steps in. I sat at my desk a lot today. All right, last one.
I am so grateful to be here today to celebrate my grandson Sammy's bar mitzvah, and I couldn't be prouder of him. He has succeeded in everything he's ever done, and I'm grateful to be here, and I'm also grateful to have my other grandson here who's going to be graduating from Chapel Hill this May. Go Tar Heels!
So for all of these wonderful things,
What?
Do you want to do it?
Oh, sure. I'm Cantor Desnick, and my daughter is now 1 year and 1 week old.
Woo! Yay! So for all these things, we say Shechianu, page 648. By the time you get there, we'll be done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kivanu v'higianu l'zman hazeh. Amen.
Friends, sometimes it feels like a hard pivot. It kind of does tonight, which is that although we have these amazing, joyous moments to be together, we know that in the joy, there are those who are in need of healing of body, mind, spirit, relationship. So I'll invite you to hold a little hand up, and as my hand passes over you, to share the name of the one for whom you are praying this Shabbat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Words for Misha Berach. Oh, actually, excuse me. In addition to those names, we say once again Arthur Gudelman, Dova Elka Bat Gittel, Amy Brownstein, Charles Kahn, George Fox, Harvey Apple, Brett Samsky, Yaria Bat Samuel Verut, Devora Tamar Bat Yitzhak Leza Visharan Ahuva, Ken Hurd, Shmuel ben Devora, Joel Reish, Meir ben Rachmiel Vidina, Robin Underwood, Ashish Sharma, Chavayeta Bat Yehudit, Ken Schiffer, Helen Ray, Kathy Cook, Ludmila Koven, Michelle Lappin, Daniel Bronson, Shobhana Deshpande, Michelle Levy, and Jane Greenberger. I'll invite you to rise, page 371, the middle of the page. The person next to you is comfortable with it. Put an arm around one another. We join together. We will remain standing to sanctify Shabbat with Kiddush, and if anybody is under the age of bar or bat mitzvah, we invite you at this time to very carefully come on forward, because we will need your help right after Kiddush. So come on up, come on up. Somebody's got to be first.
Oh, yeah. Rabbi, what page are we on?
I think 120.
Well, yes, we are. 123.
No, 123.
All right, come on up.
Come on up, come on up.
There's lots of room.
We will hold up our pretend Kiddush cups. We haven't gotten the little ones back yet.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava u'ratzon yichilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila Lemikra Kodesh, זכר יציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השם. Why do we say together, Amen? L'chaim.
L'chaim. Did you guys coordinate? You all look great together up here.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. Remain standing, page 586. If you would please turn around and open our ark for us. We will pray the bottom of the page together.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Good job, guys.
Friends, you can be seated. We've reached the conclusion of our service in which we recall the names of loved ones who have died in seasons past as well as in more recent days. It is part of the main reason we come together to be able to honor them. So we offer condolences to the Shapiro family on the death of Selma Shapiro, families in Shloshim for Nella Krupnik, Milton B. Adesnik, Michael Aronson, and Donald Howler. For those observing yard sites, for Erwin Apple, Sidney Cooperman, Susan Ellen Fox, Al Goldman, Mabel Goldstein, Henrietta Goldstein, Frida Harris, Carlton Herman, Mildred Hirsch, Daniel Caden, Joyce Klein, Elizabeth Nittel, Adam Crispo, Ruth Marcus, Jules Molkner, Noel Netherton, Buddy Oberfeld, Jean Piasek, Russell Ripito, Alex Slade, Dina Steinberg, and Jack Trackman. In addition to this, we add the 11 names of those who have died in these deadly terror attacks, the most that we've had, the worst it's been since 2006. These are Arab Israelis, Jews, Ukrainians, and Druze. That is Amir Khoury, Rabbi Abishai Yechezkel, Rabbi Yaakov Shalom, Victor Sauerfut, Shirel Abikurat, Zayvin Malach, Laura Yitzchak, Rabbi Moshe Karbitsky, Dorit Yachbas, and Menachem Yechezkel. If there is a name for which I mispronounced or skipped, I invite you to say that name aloud as my hand passes over the room. If you are in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days mourning the loss of a loved one, I invite you to please rise now so that we may recognize you. If you are in Yud Bet, the first year mourning the loss of a loved one, I invite you to rise so we may recognize you. If on this Shabbat you are observing a yard site, a death anniversary of a loved one, I invite you to please rise so we may recognize you. And if it is your custom to rise for Mourner's Kaddish, as it is here at Temple Emanu-El, we invite you to do so now. Kaddish Yatom can be found on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uvyomechon, Uchayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala Uvizman Kari Vimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mivarach Le'olam U'amei Amaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shmei D'Kudusha Barichu, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tush Bechata V'nechemata, Damiran Ve'alma V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen.
Oseh Shalom B'mromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'yimeru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'yimeru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'yimeru, Amen.
I think I'm going to do it first time. Ready for this? Wallah challah. Put a hand on a shoulder, on a hand on a shoulder, so that perhaps we can all touch the challah, or we can do it spiritually.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.